As a safety engineer, I've seen it firsthand. How a single rule, a single procedure, can be the one thing that separates a close call from a real tragedy. In Brazil, these rules are all part of a powerful system called the Normas Regulamentadores, or NRs. So today, we're going to dive deep into what these NRs are, how they protect you, and why your role in workplace safety is way more important than you might think.
To really get why these standards are so crucial, we got to go back in time, to before they even existed. And this number, well, it says it all, 2 million. That's how many workplace accidents were officially recorded in Brazil in just 1 year, 1975. It was a national crisis. It was a clear sign that the country's workforce was in danger and something had to change fast.
So how did Brazil go from that crisis to becoming a benchmark in workplace safety? That's the journey we're taking today. We'll start with that historical challenge, then we'll break down the NRs as our protective shield. We're going to decipher the risks you can see and the ones you can't, take a peek at the future of safety, and most importantly, find out the crucial role that you play in all of this.
All right, let's start at the beginning, with a crisis that kick-started a revolution in Brazilian workplace safety.
Now, this journey to safety wasn't exactly a straight line. While some rules had been around since 1943, that absolutely horrifying number from 1975 was the tipping point. It directly led to the creation of the first 28 NRs in 1978, which was a huge leap forward. But the real game changer came in 1988, when the new constitution declared workplace safety a fundamental right for every single Brazilian.
Okay, so we know why the NRS were created. Now let's get into what they actually are and how they act as this protective shield for every worker. So what are these NRs anyway? Well, think of them like a comprehensive safety rulebook for every single workplace in Brazil. And these aren't just suggestions or best practices. They are mandatory, legally binding rules that apply to everyone, from a construction worker on a skyscraper to an accountant in an office, ensuring a baseline of safety for all.
And this is where the NRs get their real power. It's not just a regulation, it's a constitutional right. That means every worker in Brazil is guaranteed a safe and healthy work environment by the highest law in the land. It's basically a promise the nation makes to its people.
From an engineering perspective, this is really the heart and soul of the NRH, the hierarchy of risk control. Think of it like a safety pyramid. At the very top, the best solution is to get rid of the hazard altogether. If you can't do that, you change how people work to minimize the risk. And only at the very bottom, as the last line of defense, do you rely on personal protective equipment, or EPE. A helmet is great, don't get me wrong, but it's way, way better to stop something from falling in the first place, right?
All right, now that we've got the principles down, let's get practical. Let's talk about the dangers you can see and touch, the stuff that's front of mind for a safety engineer, machines and chemicals.
Just look at this number. Over 900,000 accidents involving machinery in just over a decade. This is exactly why we have NR12, the specific standard for machine safety. It's the reason modern machines have guards, sensors, and those big red emergency stop buttons. Every single one of those features is a direct result of lessons learned from accidents like these.
Now, what about the invisible dangers, chemicals? NR15 introduces the idea of a tolerance limit. That's the maximum amount of a substance you can be exposed to without it harming your health. It's a crucial concept, but here's the catch. A lot of these limits are based on older science and haven't kept up with the thousands of new chemicals used today. That's a huge challenge for modern safety engineering.
But what if the biggest hazard at your job isn't a machine or a chemical, but the work itself? That brings us to the hidden dangers, the ones that affect your mind just as much as your body, psychosocial risks.
I mean, you can see a missing guard on a machine, right? You can smell a chemical leak. But what about the crushing weight of a deadline or the constant anxiety of an unstable job? How do we protect workers from the invisible dangers of stress and burnout? This is where Brazil's safety regulations took a truly groundbreaking step. The newest versions of NR01, which sets the general rules, and NR17, the ergonomic standard, now officially require companies to manage psychosocial risks. This is huge. It's the official recognition that a toxic work environment can be just as dangerous as a faulty piece of machinery.
So what are we talking about here with these psychosocial risks? Here are the 6 main categories. We're talking about burnout from working too much, feeling powerless when you have no say in your tasks, the stress from a bad relationship with your boss, or that constant worry that you could lose your job.
These are real risks with very real consequences.
And look, these risks are evolving with the way we work today. The platformization of the gig economy adds a layer of insecurity, remote work can blur the lines between your job and your life, and online harassment is a growing threat. The NRs are adapting to these new challenges, making it clear that companies are responsible for managing these modern forms of stress.
The world of work is changing faster than ever before. So how are the NROs keeping up with robots, AI, and automation? Let's take a look at the future of safety.
This is a perfect example of how safety has to evolve. Old-school robots were locked away in cages. The rule was simple, stay out. But today's cobots are designed to be our partners, working right alongside us. That requires a whole new level of safety, with smart sensors and force-limiting tech to keep us safe. And yeah, you guessed it, NR12 has been updated to cover these new robotic coworkers.
And the same goes for AGVs, those self-driving vehicles you see zipping around modern warehouses. They might not have a driver, but they aren't just running wild. They're governed by strict safety rules, with advanced sensors to prevent collisions, emergency stops within reach, and designated pathways to keep both them and the people around them safe.
We've talked about rules, risks, and robots, but the single most important element in workplace safety is you. In this final section, we'll see why your participation isn't just helpful, it's essential. This quote really just says it all. Safety is your right as a worker. It's your employer's duty to provide it, and it's everyone's responsibility to maintain it. A true safety culture isn't just a poster on the wall, it's a commitment from everyone, every single day. And here's the most empowering part. Your right to participate in safety is protected by law. You are the expert in your own job, and your insights are invaluable. Speak up, share your concerns, and be an active part of creating a safer workplace for you and your colleagues. Your voice doesn't just matter, it's absolutely essential.
And that's our deep dive into Brazil's NRs. I hope this analysis has given you a new perspective on workplace safety. If you found this valuable, please go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe for more insights like this one. And most importantly, stay safe out there.
Oferecimento Máximo Brasil Manutenção. Excelência em manutenção. Segurança e qualidade do início ao fim. Obras, reformas e segurança do trabalho.